Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the exact biological and psychological reasons why your French Bulldog absolutely refuses to leave your side. If your dog follows you from the living room to the kitchen and literally waits for you right outside the bathroom door, well, you probably just think they're being clingy, right? But actually, there is a staggering amount of canine neuroscience and evolutionary biology driving every single footstep they take right behind you.
Here's our roadmap for This Explainer. We're taking a rigorous, scientific look under the hood of your dog's nervous system. We've got 6 key areas to cover: the Velcro dog phenomenon, the biology of attachment, the scent tracking machine, cortisol and emotion, warning signs of anxiety, and finally, building healthy independence. Let's get right to it.
Starting off with Section 1, the Velcro dog phenomenon. We're going to validate your everyday experience here, taking it out of the realm of mere clinginess and looking at it as a measurable canine behavior.
So, why does your Frenchie shadow your every move? We've all been there. You're just walking down the hallway and boom, there they are, right at your heels. To understand why your dog following you to the bathroom is actually a biological imperative, we kind of have to look back at how they were created. You see, French Bulldogs were never bred to herd sheep, hunt game, or guard vast territories. Instead, what we're looking at is a scientifically classified, proximity-seeking attachment behavior known as Velcro dog syndrome. It is deeply rooted in their genetics. It's absolutely crucial to remember that French Bulldogs were selectively bred for one specific thing, and that is companionship. That means those independent working traits, they were completely engineered out of their DNA over generations. So staying close to you isn't some glitch in their programming, it's literally their primary genetic design.
Moving on to Section 2, the biology of attachment. This is where we see how human psychology perfectly maps onto canine biology.
Have you ever heard of secure base theory? It's a psychological concept developed by John Bowlby, originally to explain how human infants bond with their parents. Well, psychologists actually borrowed this exact framework for dogs because French Bulldogs fit the model perfectly. You are your dog's literal anchor point. Wherever you stand instantly becomes safe ground. They use you to feel secure enough to explore the world, which is exactly why they only wander off confidently when they know exactly where you are.
And here's where the biology gets really fascinating. This dynamic perfectly illustrates how following you is not a weakness. Your dog is actively regulating his own nervous system just by staying near his anchor, you. When you leave a room, your dog's nervous system registers a real disruption. We can physically see this in their heart rate. When isolated, that heart rate spikes, but the second they move closer to you, it settles right back into a calm, steady rhythm. They are literally using your physical presence to soothe their own physiology. How incredible is that? Alongside that modern psychology, we have an ancient survival instinct, the pack cohesion drive. In the wild, canines survive by maintaining incredibly tight physical proximity. Straying too far from the pack literally meant certain death. And you know what? That ancient instinct never disappeared. It just transferred directly from wild wolf packs onto your modern household. So your living room, that's essentially their wolf pack. Following you from room to room is an evolutionary survival reflex playing out in real time.
All right, Section 3, the scent tracking machine. Because secure base theory is really only half the equation, let's shift from the psychology of their brain to the staggering biology of their snout.
When you look at the raw anatomical data here, it's pretty mind-blowing. Humans have roughly 6 million scent receptors. Your dog? They have up to 300 million. Let that sink in for a second. 300 million. This raw sensory power essentially turns your dog into a biological tracking operation. They are tracking you through the house the exact same way a master detective follows hard physical evidence. Scent absolutely cuts through every household distraction. Literally, every step you take leaves a glowing biological map across your floorboards. Your scent trail tells your dog exactly where you are, your current emotional state, and even the exact timeline of how recently you walked by. This dual system, the attachment psychology combined with this raw sensory tracking power, completely explains why your Frenchie can locate you effortlessly. Heck, even if they're passed out on the sofa with their eyes squeezed completely shut, their nose knows exactly where you went.
Now for Section 4, cortisol and emotion. Next, we're going to look at the endocrine system, which reveals something truly incredible about canine empathy.
Have you ever noticed that your dog follows you way more closely on your hardest days? Scientists call this emotional contagion. It's when one being's mood state spreads directly to another nearby being through behavioral mirroring. Your dog absorbs your stress, your sadness, your anxiety almost instantly. They're reacting to invisible emotional cues you probably didn't even realize you were projecting, absorbing the tension right out of the room.
And we actually have the hard biological data to prove this. Groundbreaking behavioral studies measuring cortisol, which is the primary stress hormone, show this long-term synchronization between dogs and their owners. Researchers found that a dog's baseline cortisol levels will actually rise and fall in biological synchronization with their owner's cortisol levels throughout the entire day. If your stress spikes because of a tight deadline or a tense argument, their stress hormone spikes right alongside yours. So when they choose closeness during those tough moments, they aren't trying to annoy you. Their endocrine system is directly, physically reacting to yours.
Moving into Section 5, Warning Signs of Anxiety. We definitely need to identify when this evolutionary shadowing crosses the threshold from a loving instinct into an unhealthy pathology.
If your dog panics the absolute second you leave the room, we're no longer looking at healthy attachment. We're looking at a clinical disorder, one that French Bulldogs are statistically highly prone to. True separation anxiety is a severe panic response. Red flags to watch out for include whining and visible distress, heavy panting, destructive chewing, indoor accidents, and excessive barking that happens only when they are left entirely alone. It's absolutely crucial to evaluate which side of this comparison your dog lands on. Healthy following looks calm, relaxed, and secure. They might just wander in and quietly lie down near you. Anxious following, on the other hand, involves tense pacing, clear distress, and a complete inability to self-soothe when separated. If your dog's brain defaults to panic mode the second a door closes, they probably need some structured professional behavioral support.
Which brings us to Section 6, Building Healthy Independence. Let's discuss how we can actually work with their biology to cultivate a healthy, secure bond that doesn't rely on constant anxious shadowing.
We can build a structured training protocol to teach your dog that your absence is only temporary. Step 1. Establish a highly predictable daily routine. Predictability reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is the main driver of anxious following. Step 2. Practice short, calm departures. Step away for just a moment. And Step 3. Execute calm, low-energy returns.
You really want to avoid those long, dramatic farewells. Practicing confident, calm goodbyes is honestly one of the kindest psychological gifts you can give your dog. It builds their emotional resilience and confidence. When you make a big emotional deal out of leaving the house, you're unintentionally signaling to them that your departure is a dangerous event worth panicking over. Keep it short, confident, and boring.
Dog psychologists love to describe proximity as currency. Ultimately, since your dog can't use words, physical closeness is literally how they spend their biological energy to say, "I love you." Every single time they choose the hard floor in your office over the super soft couch in the living room, that choice carries genuine psychological weight. It is, quite literally, love in motion.
From their incredible biological scent tracking to the literal synchronization of their stress hormones with yours, they are wired entirely to stay close to you. I really hope this explainer has transformed your understanding of your companion, leaving you with a deeper appreciation for the magnificent biological bond you share.